Hey guys, Ramblin Bob here. So I was just given some new information and I want to have it confirmed by other people that have the E600LFP. Now I know the video that's on the screen is the E300, but that was where one of our awesome subscribers, Brian P. NV1SP, 1 hour ago let us know that they did some changes. One we know for sure and the other one we're not sure of. So we want to reach out to our community of subscribers and viewers and see what other people have been getting with their E600LFP. So let me read what he wrote here. It says, hey Ramblin Bob, I just received my new E600LFP and I've noticed two things changed. I received a soft pouch instead of a hard case. Now guys, we got a hard case when we bought ours, I think about, I want to say 10 months ago or so. That's when we did the review. So it had to be almost a year ago, and it had a hard Pecron case, and now there's like a soft baggy, and they show that now on the website. So we just want to bring this information forward so other people won't be kind of shock valued as far as what to expect when they get their system. But the second one is the AC adapter on the unit says 300 watts max and not 400 watts max. Now I thought Brian was referring to, and I stand corrected on this because I misread what he wrote there. That's why texts and comments are always can be taken the wrong way, because the way you read it sometimes is not how people meant it. Like you write it differently than what you meant. I thought he was referring to the 300 watt charging brick. That is supposed to be 400 watts. It's actually always been a 300 watt. It's 42 amps. It's 42 volts at 7 amps, which is about 294. But he was referring to the actual input port on the E600LFP. So that got us digging really quick here. In the last hour, we did a lot of information gathering on the website. I want to show you what we found, and I want other people to chime in. Let us know what you're receiving and if it's different. And if it is different, then we can let other people and the subscribers and the viewers on YouTube know what to expect if something is different. Okay, so like I said, I thought he was referring to the power brick, but he was talking to the actual charging port, the 5-pin charging port. Now ours says exactly this. Ours says 32 volts to 95 volts at 400 watt max. We'll make a video about it right away, which is obviously what I'm doing because I want other people to know. I don't want anyone to get, like I said, we don't work for Pecron, but we feel like the more information that we can get out there helps people make a better decision if something is right for you, or if you have other questions, you can contact Pecron and see what they say. But I want other people to let me know if you recently received an E600LFP. Let us know what you're getting, because I'll show you our system and I'll show you what's on Pecron's website. Okay, and then I asked him if he could make a video showing your model, because I'd love to see, guys, we need more information about this. Okay, so here's Pecron's website, okay? So we're going to go to the power stations. Oh, I could have got it right there. And then here's this the E600. Notice that sale is off, guys. But this one here is the E600LFP. Now, I noticed that in here it says 400 watts max solar charging, right? Now, when you look at the, let's see, let's go to, wait, in the description here. I got to remember where I saw this, guys. I'm trying to squish a lot of information in a few minutes. Okay, so it says, where did I see that? Okay, right here. So it says solar input is 12 to 18 volts, 100 watts max at 7 amps. Now that is referring to the barrel. That's the little top thing right on here on the left side of this arrow where it's pointing here. That's for that port. But now the other port says VOC 32 volts to 95 volts at 400 watts max at 15 amps max. So that is what we have on our system, and that would be this port right here, which is the 5-pin aviation port. Now, if I bring up this picture, guys, notice that this new one, I don't know if this is an updated version or something. Maybe they have a version 2 and no one knows about it. This says PV, which is that photovoltaic solar panels, guys. That's the easier word. Solar panel input, or the adapter input, is 400 watts max. The adapter is already at 42 volts. We know that. and the solar now is 24 to 48. Now remember, mine said 32 all the way up to 95 volts, so maybe something has changed on this model and it was kind of overlooked, or they updated or downgraded. I don't know. That's why I need more information from you guys, subscriber family. But this is the first time I'm seeing this, guys. And thank you again, Brian, for bringing this information. Like I said, I misunderstood what he had mentioned in the comment, because reading his comment, it sounded like he was saying that the the input AC adapter on the unit says 300 watts. So, oh yeah, there you go. So I assumed he meant the input on the on the charging brick. That's what I thought he was referring to. So like I said, sometimes you read these really quick, or you just misunderstand what people say. But it says the input AC adapter. See, I thought he was referring to the adapter on the unit. So it would have been easier understood if he said the AC port on the unit, not the adapter. So and now if it's changed to only 300 watts, guys, that would be quite the difference for a solar. But like I said, now this one says 24 to 48 volts. Maybe they have a different MPPT controller in there. Maybe they changed it and revamped the model or something. I don't know, guys. I don't have if there is a newer version, I don't have that. But like I said, I wanted to make a video just so people would understand. Now notice that this only says 12 volts. And then in the description, remember it says, let me get out of here. I'll get stuck on these websites. If you remember here, it says 12 to 18 volts, and that's VOC. So maybe that's changed. Ours just says, hold on, let me check real quick. I'll bring up the model here. Okay, so yeah, ours says 12 volts to AC, I'm sorry, 12 volts to 18 volts DC input as well, 100 watt max at 7 amps. So that's the same as what ours says, but let's see here. But like I said, this is the one I'm concerned about. If something changes, now Brian said on his model that he just got, this 400 here says 300 watts. I'd love to know what his solar panel, his PV input is, and see if that's changed too. So maybe Pecron has to either let us know, what the update is, if there is, or if something's changed. Because see, notice on picture number 2, guys, it says DC 32 volts to 95. Now this is the model that I have. Maybe they have a new model out, and like I said, maybe no one knows about it. But when you zoom in here, see it says 32 volts to 95 volts at 400 watt max. This is exactly the unit that we have. And then if you go through more pictures, this is the other thing that Brian brought to our attention, is we got a hard case with ours, and this comes with like a little baggie. So at least they put it in the pictures, letting other people know you don't get that cool little hard case. We have like 10 of them, guys. We don't use any of them. But some people would really like that. So it's definitely good information that Brian brought forward with this. And then if you look at, oh, I lost it there. Let's see, what was that, picture 3? Yeah, okay, so we can't zoom in anymore here. We're already zoomed in. I wish I could zoom into that to see what that one says. But here we can zoom into this one. Yep, there you go. So see, 24 to 48 at 400 watts max. Now, like I said, Brian was saying his says 300 watts max. Hopefully he's able to make a video so I can see it. I'd love to see it. Let's see here. Let's see. Looking for more pictures here. Maybe I can zoom in on this here. I had it. Okay, there we go. Yeah, see, 32 to 95. It's hard to see. 32 to 95 at 400 watts max. Okay, and then this one, I can't read that one, guys. Let's see here. Lady sitting right. Okay, so here you go. See, solar charging 400 watts max, but it doesn't say the voltage. But this could be a heads up for anybody that has one already. And here, see, 24 to 48 at 400. Now, this is a huge thing, because, guys, if you plug in something like, 70 or 80 volts, because you have two E600 LFPs, and they changed it, and you don't know that, and you plug in your solar panel, you will destroy this entire box. You'll burn out the battery cells, the BMS, the MPPT controller, and the screen and everything. Like you'll literally just destroy the entire box. So I think this is very, very important information. And like I said, I misunderstood what Brian was saying because I was looking at the adapter. So Brian, I do stand corrected, and I apologize. But yeah, see, this one says 24 to 48 volts. Now here's the cool thing, guys. When we made this page here, this is our database thing. If you type in, this is how you can search here. I got all this information from all the units that we have. So when we bought or were given these certain models for the reviews, right away we took the information down, and this we can go back and see if anything changed on ours. So this was the information that was on the website when we did it 10 months ago. And notice it says PB input. I wish I could make this bigger. Hold on. There we go. Okay. So it says PV input 12 to 18 volts, 100 watts max at 7 amps. So that's not changed, but notice, guys, it says 32 volts to 95 volts at 400 watts max, 15 amps. This is the model that we have, guys. So we need, and we have all the systems here, guys. Like this will go for everything that Pecron has. From LFP forward, that we're creating this database so people can use this as a reference, and that way this is even better to see if something's changed on the models or anything, because some companies will release like I said, we don't work for Pecron at all. You know, we do affiliate links, and that's it. We do not represent or work for Pecron, so we never know if something changed unless they tell us, because we don't have privy information of like inside information as far as, well, there's a new version of this coming. Like we found out about the E600LFP through hard work and determination, and we found out that there was different versions of the menu by trial and error from other people. That's what the Scriber family is built. This is a perfect example of why this channel was created, is so we could all come together and update each other and make sure that we're all getting you know, the model that we are promised, or if they change something, like in this case, you know, you don't get that hard case anymore. Now notice, if you go back here, guys, and you look at our picture, it's something I forgot to look at. That's the 300. Now see, notice in this one, let me see if I can make this a little bigger. Okay, so notice in this one, guys, this is the one we got. This is the hard case that Brian is referring to. And once again, thank you, Brian, for this information. I think it's very valuable. But notice that this is the one with the hard case and the 32 to 95. And then if the new one comes with the soft, like it's like a squishy zip bag or something, and if they actually change the input, and they didn't update this website, I think this is very valuable information that they need to really get on the ball and change this. Because notice here, guys, in the specifications, it says the VOC 32 to 95 at 400 watts. And if this is now incorrect and it's only 24 to 48 and they change something, I'll definitely send a message to Pecron, whether they change it or not. I hope so. But I'll definitely send a message to them saying that awesome Scriber Brian has brought this to our attention. Maybe you need to revamp this page and check stuff and make sure that everything is correct and up to date, because the last thing you want to do is purchase something and be unhappy, or if you get something different than what you were promised. That's always a headache, guys. You know. Real quick with this life cycles, guys, this is another thing. So there was a few other scribers that didn't quite understand the cycling of batteries, and I just want to clear this up pretty good of what I learned in the last few years about cycling batteries. Okay, so what they wanted to do was, and this is off topic, so it'll be different. So if you want to, you know, stop watching, I understand. Okay, so what they wanted to do is do the E600LFP, and they wanted to put like an external battery, like we did in this video, guys, where we put the extra batteries on this little unit, and they want to put a E3000 48 volt, and then, you know, put it from these ports. You know, the on the other side you have the cascading cable imports, and they want to run that to the input of a battery. Now here, this is two huge problems with that, guys, that I don't know if they quite understood, or like I said, when you write and text stuff, it doesn't come across as quick and as easy as talking, and you know, the explanations. There's two major problems with this. One, it voids your warranty. If you use that port for anything other than cascading, and Pecron finds out about it, maybe they have a way to know, I don't know. But it will void your warranty, and they have talked about this in the past. They actually had a disclaimer on one of their pages saying if you use the port improperly, they don't cover the warranty. So that's something to, you can mod anything you want, you can make anything, that's what creators and people like that, inventors and scientists and things do, and engineers, they create stuff out of out of nothing. You can mod anything, right? The question is whether you should. It's a good idea. The other thing is the E600LFP has, and I've complained about it for a year now, a horrible power meter, because it's not really horrible in a sense that when you charge through the batteries like that, the power meter doesn't understand that the energy is coming in. So the power meter doesn't readjust. Now, I've fought with Pecron for a year, and we got that updated and fixed on the E600LFP. It updates on the fly. So if you're bringing in energy through one of the batteries of the E600LFP, it will understand this. The E600LFP has a headache power meter, and anytime you bring energy through the batteries, which we have done many, many times, you have to fill the entire system up and let the power meter readjust and recalibrate to what's actually in the box. And it understands that, oh, it's full now. It will be off for an hour or two until you keep charging, and it'll try to put more energy in there and then pull back. I've made videos about this, guys, and it'll pull back the energy and say, oh, sorry, it's full, and then the percent will go up 1%, and it takes 1 to 3 minutes on average to go up 1%. So obviously it takes a long time to correct this. So if you do this and put a battery, an external battery to get more watt hours, that will go in through the batteries, but it'll screw up your power meter, and it's just not worth it. However, if you were to put a 24 volt, and like I said, modding goes against the warranty, guys, and if you were to use that, as long as your polarity is correct and you're fused, you have to have a fuse on this. That's a lot of voltage coming out of there and a lot of amps. And if you were to run a 24 volt battery into a E600LFP to have more runtime, that would be better, because the system would understand that the energy is coming in. And I don't think they quite understood what I meant by that. Now, here's the other huge problem. This is the huge problem with this, guys. So a lot of people don't understand the battery cycles of a battery, the cycle count, if you will. Now, Pecron is rated there's up to 3,500 cycles to 80%. Now that's true in perfect conditions. This is where people have a misconception. If you have perfect conditions of a solar panel, the absolute mint, and it's a 400 watt panel, chances are that you could receive 400 watts in a laboratory and perfect environment. Perfect temperature, perfect sun, everything has to be perfect. So the problem is with cycles, and what people don't understand about cycles is, if you hook that battery up to a full rack, since it's going to want to charge all the time, it's going to force that energy into the system, so it will it will empty that battery, the external one, first. Okay, it's kind of hard to understand this, because I wish I had a video explaining it. But if you were to put this system into this one, this would drain first. And if you take a deep cell or any battery down to 0%, which you will every night, this will drop to 0 first before this one will, right? Because you're feeding it. They're not going to stay at equal levels. The discharge, the state of charge on this one will drop first, and then this will drop. Now the problem with that is, guys, you are going to literally destroy the cycle count of this battery first, because you're draining it way too far. It's only supposed to be technically drained to about 20%, and then you're only technically supposed to charge it to about 90%. That's the misconception with batteries. If you force 100% into batteries, it kind of works the batteries a little harder. It's kind of like pushing the gas pedal on your car down to 100%, right? It makes the car work harder. So if you go under that 20%, right, it puts strain and wear on the battery cells. Now, this is not just Pecron. This is every battery made. Every battery is designed for a sweet spot, which is known approximately 20% to 90%. That's where Jackery gets that really high cycle count of their systems, because they're rating it between 20 and 90%. If that doesn't make sense, it's hard to explain. Like I said, you'd have to make a whole video with a lab coat to understand that. But guys, if you're going to do this setup like we did, this is okay, because you're not going to drain. See okay, let me. It's hard to explain. So the external battery is far bigger than the unit, which is why we did it this way. But if you were putting this little one into this big one, that would destroy this thing faster, because this would obviously empty to zero before this would. You know what I mean? So this would empty to zero eventually, but by that time it'll be morning and you can charge it already. So it would really never get down to 20% if you kept the draw very light, 100 or 200 watts. You can go 15 to 10 to 14 hours depending. But that's what we're referring to about the cycle count. I could make videos upon videos of what I learned just on cycle counts. It is a very, very drawn out thing. So it's kind of like, I suppose anything. If you have here's a good example. Say a transmission. I owned a Dodge Caravan. Many of you probably had a Dodge Caravan, and a 90s Dodge Caravan, and the transmissions are notoriously known for failing at 100,000 miles. So what happened is mine lasted 200,000 miles. Now I drive like a complete grandpa. Right? I'm in the right lane. I do the speed limit. I stay out of the left lane. People don't yell at me that way. I drive very safe. I've been driving many years and never had a ticket. So it's a thing where you want to protect the engine, but if you're late for work, I understand, you speed up and go down. So batteries are the same thing. If you abuse them, they will definitely drop that cycle count, guys. Definitely. You could drop it in half just by going to zero a handful of times, because you're putting strain on those batteries. Now, it's okay to do a battery capacity test. All these review channels do that, to where people will see how much power they can get out of a battery. But this is not something that you should do on a regular basis. Try to get in the pattern of putting energy into your system when it gets about down to 20. Yes, you can go all the way to zero, but remember, it does put strain on the battery cells, and you're going to knock down that cycle count by a lot, depending on how many times you do that. So we always try to keep it, as soon as it gets down to 20, whether it's solar or AC, we put something in there till we can get to the next solar day or solar time, because we don't want to have those cycle counts drop. And I think that's just, like I said, it's a big misconception. Technology in general, people have a lot of misconceptions of how it works, and you really have to watch Hobotech and Jasonoid and other channels, because they're very, very in detail, where I can't quite explain it properly. And I talk a lot in layman's terms. I'm not a scientist. I'm not an engineer. I'm a sound guy. I'm a sound engineer. So it's totally different, but I get the concept of it, which is why we're doing these reviews. So the cycle count, like I said, is very, very important. And if you want to extend the runtime on your machines, just try to make sure, and this is only my opinion, try to make sure that the external source is larger than the system you're hooking it to. This was my dream setup. I wanted to go to EG4. Okay, that was the biggest system that I could find at that time, and I wanted an EG4 because I watched Will Prowse on his DIY channel, and I love the channel. It is packed full of information. But guys, it is very technical information, and if you're a beginner, that's not a good channel for you. Not quite yet. You want to learn step by step and then get over to Will Prowse. That guy has a lot of knowledge for a young fella. I mean, he's half my age, and he has like 10 times the knowledge, 100 times the knowledge. So I watch his channel all the time, and that helps us learn what to do and what not to do when you get into a real situation, not portable, a real situation, a grid tie or a monster system that's 25 to 100,000 watt hours. I mean, you know, he was putting 400 watts of solar on his driveway and pull. That's a ton of power, guys, and extremely dangerous. So that's a channel that you want to go to when you're ready for it. Not yet. That's not a good starter channel. But I wanted to have a 100,000 watt hour EG4 rack. I wanted to have a monster rack, or 4 that I could daisy chain together somehow, and then run that into a power station or an all-in-one. But when you look at the price of those guys, boy, that's a lot of money for that, 100,000. So I got into portable, and you know, the problem with the EG4 stuff is it's not portable as, you know, the Bluettis, the Pecrons, the VTOMANs, the NURSBs, the Oukitel, you know, and on EcoFlows and everything. So I like the portability aspect of it. So what I did with this video is try to combine the two ideas of having a very large stack of batteries that you could hook to a small one, so you could have the 6,000 watt hours on this video, but you could have the portability of something that you could put in a basket, a bag, your car, the back seat, the trunk of, you know, whatever, on your bike. So that's where that came from. So yeah, this was a lot of rambling, guys, but I wanted to get this out there for the information. Thank you, Brian, for the update. That's awesome. Our subscriber family is so awesome, guys. Join it. We need you. We need all the information that we can get. About the bag, yes, I believe it has changed now according to Brian, so we have to see if other people have received the hard case or the soft string tie bag, which is this thingy, guys. So, you know, let us know what you actually have. Let us know also what it says on your unit here. Does it say, let me find that here, this one, does it say the 24 to 48 volts like this one says? Does this say 300 now? Are things changing and they didn't update the website, guys? Because we want to get this information out to as many people as we can, so people don't have a shock when they order something. It's the biggest thing, the most important thing is, I always said on this channel, if I pay $5, I want $5 a product, which is $5 that you promised me of said product. That's it, nothing more. I don't want bonuses. Bonuses are nice, but it's not necessary. So I just want and that's what the whole point of these reviews are for, guys, is to verify this. Okay, guys, so let us know what you received if you had the E600LFP delivered within the last month or two, and let us know if the voltage, the open voltage, has changed, which is this here, guys. I want you to please take some notes, because you're going to help the subscriber family out. Let us know if this has changed, because it was 32 to 95, remember, that's what ours is. Is it now 24 to 48? And if so, we can make an updated video letting people know that there is a version change at Pecron. And, you know, we didn't know about it, obviously, because like I said, we don't work for Pecron. Is the input now only 300 watts, or is it 400 watts like it says in this picture? And then other than that, let us know if you are receiving the soft bag or the hard pouch, guys. But guys, awesome video. Hopefully this gets out to as many people as possible. Let us know, guys, in the comments. Please let us know what you're receiving step by step, the open voltage, the case, the input power, everything. All right, guys, ramble on, be safe, and we'll definitely see you and chat with you here on Ramblin Bob Reviews. Bye, guys.